afternoon, everyone. It's Point of View. This is the 31st of May. This is the last day of May. Oh my goodness, for the year 2022. And there's my baby sister,
Hello, darling. Hello,
Merethah.
everyone.
And Cleester will be with us, God willing. She had an errand to run, our grandmother errand. So she will be with us, God willing. And so today, that what are you talking about?
Mine is when you should follow your gut instinct.
Okay, when you should follow your gut instinct, and mine is why people or why won't people support us? We do so
Mhm.
much, and then even the people you expect to be really supportive of you, they won't even share your work. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, see if mine is.
Uh-huh. So we're going to go ahead and pray. Dear God, as we sit before you to speak, we pray to you that our souls you will keep. And if we should die before we finish, we pray to you, dear God, that any outstanding sins will be forgiven.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen. In
Okay.
the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. We have to do that prayer before we go on the air, as we said, well, while we're on the air,
Yeah.
because we just don't know. It's
Never know.
another day's journey.
Hmm. And I'm
And we're
glad about
glad about it. That's right. So glad to be alive.
it.
So, Reedy, she'll come on in. So, you want to go ahead and start? Are you prepared to go ahead and start?
Yeah, I can. I get my child out of my lap.
Y- y- Yeah, plenty of time.
Um,
Because this is very interesting. I'm anxious to hear this.
yep, mine is when you should follow your gut instinct. Okay, this is from the BBC.com, and it's in
Okay.
psychology. Okay, and this is by Claudia Hammond.
Okay.
We often told to go with the first answer that pops into our head, but the evidence suggests that we want to be more careful which intuition we trust. Whether you're taking an exam or trying to select the perfect candidate for a job, we make plenty of decisions where we sometimes have a gut feeling about the answer. Should we question that
Mm-hmm.
instinct or go with it? When instant answers just appear and pop into our minds, Nobel Prize winning behavioralist economist Daniel Kahneman refers to it as System One of first thinking. The contrast with the slower, more considered System Two thinking, where we actively consider our options before coming to a conclusion. You remember they used to say, "Follow your first mind."
Uh-huh.
Follow your first mind. Your first mind, to me, what I believe is that your first mind is always God. I believe he's directing you, or he's sending something to direct you, in which way you should go.
Mm-hmm.
You know when you're doing something wrong. That gut tells you when you're doing something wrong and when you're doing something right. You know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that first we old people. That old people tell us follow that first mind. All right. Intuition tends to get bad reputation as something that is flaky and based on no evidence. A careful analysis of all the options is surely more likely to give us the right answer. To give us the right answer, it's a question, excuse me. Not necessarily. Our gut instincts are not always as random as they seem. They can be based on rapid appraisal of a situation. We might not always realize it, but the brain is constantly comparing our current situation with our memories of previous situations. So
Mm-hmm.
when a decision feels intuitive, it might in fact be based on years of experience.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yes.
Please, excuse me. The problem with fast thinking is the existence of dozens of different cognitive biases, which can lead us toward the wrong answer. We tend to be over optimistic. We prefer simple solutions. We notice and remember information that confirms what we already think. And we favor continuing down paths we've already invested time or money. So sometimes
Mm-hmm.
instead of following our gut, we go with what we've already done.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be wrong sometimes. Take job interviews, for example. Despite most companies still relying on them, there is ample evidence that standard interviews are, are not a good way of selecting the best candidates. To many of our own biases, we come into play. We come into play.
Mm-hmm.
And people who we really like and feel will be just right are often people we most like ourselves, rather than
Mm-hmm.
the best people for the job. But despite all the bias and more, there are times when fast thinking serves us well and can be a lot and can be logical. Some people are better making intuitive judgments than others. The problem is that meta-analysis of studies of our brain shown that we are not very good at judging a veracity of our intuitions. Just because
Mm-hmm.
you think you're good, you're someone is good, uh, you're excuse me. Just because you think you're someone who's good at it, you might not be. So
Right.
yeah, we always sideline. What you call it? Couch quarterbacks, armchair
Mm-hmm.
quarterbacks. Well, if
Mm-hmm.
I would be, I'd have done this, but that's not you. You don't have that skill to go out there. You hadn't practiced. You hadn't done this. We can always say what we would do, but until you're in that situation, you don't know what you would do. You know, I can't tell a married couple how they should treat each other because I'm not married. If that was me, I'd do this. If that was me, I'd do. No, you don't know what you would do until you're in the situation. That's what this is saying. You got two ways, you got two streets you can go down. It's up to you to choose the right one. Okay,
Okay.
sometimes three streets. All right.
Excuse me, I'm having to go on the computer because for some reason I can't move this up to see if Clea is on. So I'm going to the computer. So continue. I just wanted to
Okay.
let you know, just in case they hear an echo there.
Okay. All right. So when your intuition sends you in one direction, it's worth assessing the situation more coldly. Could any of these cognitive biases you send be sending you astray? What are the arguments of the other opinion, other option? Do you have real expertise in this area? Are you rushing into a decision just to get it over with? Or could you wait to see what happens next? Sometimes we
Mm,
rush. I need this to happen, so I'm going to do this. And that's not always
hmm.
the right answer.
Right.
You have to sit back and think about it first. God will give you the answer you seek if you seek it, but you have to seek it. You know, He puts everything out there for us. And I believe that this is what, science doesn't like to refer to God.
You're
Science
right.
doesn't like to, you know, put him in the mix, but it always goes back to him. You know,
That's right.
Intuition, that's God's what telling you, hey, don't do that. Or yeah, go ahead and do that. Or that would be a good people take it in different ways, but science is always trying to explain and
Right.
and go delve off into this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's
Mm-hmm.
also a phenomenon known as first instinct fallacy. This is a belief that instinctive answers are more likely to be right than in a multiple choice test. For example, you should stick to your first thought and not change your mind later. But is this really true? Psychologists of Albright College in Pennsylvania in the USA study students' answers in multiple choice exams, exploring how
Mm-hmm.
confident they are in their first instinctive answer and why they are sometimes went back to revise it. In this little quotation here, it said, "It's not your initial instincts about the answer that you should stick with, but your instincts for your confidence in that answer."
Okay.
Vanessa says she's here, Shirley.
Yeah, that's what I see her message right here, and I'm trying my best to get it. So keep talking, and I
Okay.
hope you
But
don't go off.
what it did, it popped up in my chat.
Yes, uh-huh. Yeah, it's
Okay.
gonna come up there.
Okay. The good news was that students were quite good at judging their own uncertainty about an answer. Most of the time, when they revised their answer, it was the right decision. But when they felt most uncertain about an answer, yet stuck with it, more than half of the time, it was wrong. So, hi, Claude.
Finally, my
Well,
fingers started working.
I've been here for 15 minutes
I
listening
figured you
to
had,
y'all,
but my
listening to y'all
finger,
talking about somebody was shivering on the porch. I was here before it even started.
my finger wouldn't make my phone move.
Oh,
Well, get you some new fingers, sister.
I need some new fingers.
newfangled finger.
Look, I've been here just listening to y'all talk and listening to y'all talk. Good thing Gail is here because I had somebody to talk to.
You know, I be trying. I don't know. My finger just wouldn't work reading. I Sally.
Hasani.
Choche. Yes,
You heard us talking about you, right?
I heard everything
Mm-hmm.
y'all said about the doorbell and everything. I've been here for a while. And I was
Wow.
telling Gail, I said, well, maybe she'll see me. Maybe she'll see me. Before we even started.
Wow.
Wow.
But
Wow.
Well,
okay,
I'm
go
glad.
Merethah.
Okay. Well, see. So, right decision, but when times it was wrong. So it's not your initial instincts about the answer that you should stick with, but your instincts for your confidence in that answer. When students were taught to rate their confidence about an answer on a scale and then only change the answer that with a low confidence rating, their scores improved. Sometimes it seems you can really trust your gut when it comes to decision making, as long as your instincts are telling you that you should feel confident in that choice.
Mm-hmm.
So that is all of mine. So, like I said, in that gut feeling,
Mm-hmm.
that sign saying it's your gut feeling. That's me saying it's God, or He's sending someone to guide you and where you
Mm-hmm.
need to go. But the choice is still up to you. The choice
It's
is
up.
still up to you. But if you
That's
feel
right.
like something is wrong, if it's telling you that it's wrong, well, then 9 times out of 10 it's wrong. You know the difference between right and wrong. We know the difference between right and wrong. Some people just use, well, I wasn't told, and I wasn't told to do this, and I wasn't told. He, come on now, come on. I mean,
Some people just don't distinguish between the voices. It depends on who you know.
exactly, exactly. Thank you,
Uh-huh.
Shirley. That's what I was trying. It depends on who you know. It's not
Mm-hmm.
always
And
what you know, but it's who you know. You
Ooh,
know, so
darling.
we have
listen
to
to
follow
her.
our instincts, and back, because sometimes we're all human. We're all in this mud hut, and we're gonna make mistakes, and that's okay to make a mistake. You're supposed to learn from your mistakes. Supposed to learn from them. We don't always learn from them, and we turn around, we make that same mistake again. You
Yeah,
know,
but don't
but
always
but
learn
but
from them.
then
You're right.
when we hit our head enough times, and we start to get that headache, then you say, "Oh, now I get it."
If we survive.
If we survive.
Did
I
Rita
told
go
her, I
out
said,
again?
yeah,
No, I
yeah,
forgot my light.
Oh,
she
okay.
forgot her life. We can hear you, but okay.
I know.
But
I know.
uh, I tell them sometimes, I say, well, God throws a pebble, and if you don't pay attention to that pebble, you'll get a rock. Then if you don't pay attention to that rock, he'll get a brick, then a cinder block. Don't make him drop a building on you. Don't make him drop a building.
Okay.
You know, I
Okay.
mean, that's my way of thinking.
I don't even want him to drop a brick
I
on
know, that's
me.
what I'm
I
saying.
don't even want
Not
the
even a
pebble.
rock.
The
I tell
No.
him,
pebble. I don't want the
pebble.
pebble.
The tap on the shoulder, hey, 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 yes, sir.
And then when you like you talk about God, he said, my sheep know my voice.
Hello.
And a
You gotta
stranger
be
they will not follow.
uh-huh.
So
But you
it
gotta
depends
be
on the life you live, the service you give.
yep, yep.
Yep.
Because we
So
know, I
yep.
mean, we know being this, we know we have to judge your instincts, and don't put yourself in a situation that is dangerous for you. Always be aware of your surroundings. Everyone is not nice. If your instinct is telling you, hey, go on this side of the car, go, don't get it
Okay.
on this side. Maybe go back in for a second. You know,
Hmm.
that's your hint to go back in for a second.
Mm.
Sometimes we leave
Hmm.
home with great intentions of being on time. And sometimes we leave late and we're rushing and we're rushing and we're rushing. Stop that, because something down the road, when if you leave your keys in the house and you done been outside twice and can't remember what you're doing, to me, that's when you get on the road and then down late on the road, sometimes you see an accident, or sometimes you see, different things, somebody with a flat, or different things, say to run over something in the road. That could have been you
Hmm.
or me, but we
Hmm.
follow that voice, that instinct, God's people coming to us and saying, hey, slow down. You know, go back in there and get this. We were coming home from the track meet. And I had left to go get gas and I left them in the restaurant. They were in the restaurant. Eric and them was in the restaurant eating with the team. And so when I got back to the restaurant, I just sat in the car because I knew they weren't finished eating. And then she came out, she said, "Hey, people, you could have come and told us we were waiting on you, blah, 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 blah." So we took off. And as we were going down the road, traffic started getting heavy. And I know I wasn't out there probably about 15 minutes, but traffic started getting heavy. And we ended up going off the side of the road to get on the access road. And lo and behold, right up the highway was a horrible wreck. One of the cars was turned over. Then there was another vehicle over here, and they were rerouting everybody. I said, I didn't even say anything to her. I just said, "Thank you, Lord." Because, I don't usually do that. Go sit and go and tell I'm back, but I didn't. I just went around, got on the passenger side, and just sat there and waited for them to come out. And lo and behold, I said he could have been stopping us from that. I
Could have
followed my
been.
instinct and did
Could
what
have
I was
been.
supposed to do. Yes.
That's right.
You never know where God is stopping you from or taking you to.
Right.
So you have to be careful. Like you said, Shirley, his sheep know his voice.
That's
His
right.
sheep know his voice. I'm a sheep.
Stranger. They will
I'm,
not follow.
I'm a
Who's
sheep.
mocking that goat?
Who's that? That goat.
Who's that mocking that goat?
But that was my mind for the day. Follow your gut instinct. Most of the time it's not going to lead you wrong if you're doing things in the right way. That's what I'm saying. I mean, everything is not going. If it's bad and you're trying to do it, you're not supposed to be doing it. So that's up to you. That's a decision you make. But follow your gut instinct. If it tells you it's wrong, if it tells you you're in danger, you probably are.
Follow it, follow. As
Follow.
I mentioned the other day, Elder Coffee used to say, as we follow on to know the Lord.
Huh.
We have to listen, and then we have to be dedicated
Yep.
to, because
Yep.
we can't just uh, be wishy-washy with him and
Uh-huh.
then expect when something come along, then we're going to hear him right away.
Yeah.
You know, so we just have to, it's the life you live, the service you give, and we are working on that day by day. We are
Yep.
all
So
working on that day by day. Rita, do you want to go, or you want me to go?
That doesn't make any difference to me.
Do you mind
Mind what?
going ahead
I'll go ahead.
and
Hallelujah.
taking your time?
Hallelujah.
Go ahead. That was
Wonderful, Rita.
wonderful.
thank
Wonderful.
you.
Your gut
Wonderful.
instinct. So your
Wonderful.
gut instinct is really not your gut, right?
It's not your good. To me, it's
It's
not your
the
good.
spirit
It's the spirit
of God.
of God. That's it.
Okay, if he's
He'll
telling you the
never leave
right
you wrong.
direction, but Satan is working too.
Yeah.
So he
Yes,
going so that's
indeed.
why you have to know God's voice.
Huh.
And we are working
Hallelujah.
toward knowing his voice each and every day by the grace of God. Hallelujah. Okay. Like Clee said, hallelujah.
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 Okay, Reedy, it's in your hands.
And while you taking that, while you listening to that gut instincts, some don't feel right, take a walk. And that is mine. Walk
Yep.
it off. Let's
Walk
just
it
Walk it
off.
walk it
off.
Go,
off.
Cloud. Go,
Yes.
Cloud.
Yes. Just walk it off. Just walk it off. How walking can improve your emotional well being.
Okay.
Okay. And it's by Mark Sisson at Home Fitness. He says, a
Okay.
few years ago, a friend of mine went through a particularly rough patch. One of those stretches in life which unravels continuous layers. She'd taken multiple trips through the emotional ringer. I was happy to catch up with her recently at a dinner party where she was
Hmm.
looking and feeling recovered, even content and happy again. Lingering at the table with a few of us, she ended up sharing some of the strategies that got her through that rough time. Practices she explained she still uses when serious stress takes hold. And it is the
Hmm.
truth. If you listen to what I'm going to tell you, you'll see it is the truth. There were
Okay.
days, she described, when I would be so upset, so I wound around at a particular event and unable to let it go, that it was there either continuing and wandering around the house and slamming doors or
Mm.
making a large demonstrative hello or
Uh-huh.
movement as I played out the infuriating script running through my head, or just get outside and go for a long blankety blank you walk.
Mhm.
Hey, walk to let the bad energy burn itself out. By the time she got back, she explained she was dealing with embers instead of an all out inferno. In other words, things felt manageable again. Over and over, as simple as it was, those walks were one of the main things that got her through recognizing when she needed the release of letting the steps work their magic. While she didn't adventure all far from home most of the times, if not the streets of her neighborhood itself, then maybe the beach or a nearby state park. Others have clearly taken this concept to new lengths. Like when I was on the beach, I noticed it was people just walking, just
Yep.
walking. They walk to one end and walk back. They walk to the pier, walk to the end, come back. They were just walking, just
Just
And
walking.
one.
I ain't gonna say they walked all the way
mhm.
to the pier because it was broken down, but they would walk as far as they could, turn around and come back and come here. They come again up there by us. Some of them had sticks, just digging in the sand and just walking, letting that stuff go.
Let it
Mhm.
go.
Uh-huh.
Peace.
Yes,
Peace.
peace. That's it.
Peace.
That's it.
Yep.
Yes.
With
Yep.
best
Yes.
selling, yes, except in maybe the beach or nearby state park. Others have taken clearly concept new length with the best selling memoirs and movies covering the hiking quest of those who take to the trails in varying shades of grief or disorientation.
Mhm.
The apparently hip thing to do with life's disillusionment is to walk it off.
Uh-huh.
As I've gone into recently, we're made to walk, obligated to. In fact, we can bask in the evolutionary continuum quality of health advantage or feel inspired by those whose daily strolls fuel their creativity and vision. On a
Mhm.
more personal note, however, I wonder how much we could turn to walking for more than exercises, more than utility. How much of our
Mhm.
walking is emotionally driven? How much of our walking you could say is about the desire to walk away from something? And
Uh-huh.
sometimes it just feel like you walking away from something. You just walking, and as you're walking, you'll see things that attract you. While you walking, your mind is just freeing itself.
Yep.
It's just
Yep.
freeing your mind. It's freeing itself.
It
You're
gets
not
it gets a
dwelling.
rest.
Yes, you're not dwelling on what was bothering your mind is freeing
Yes.
itself.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. Maybe it's an argument with our partner, or a frustrating exchange with a co-worker, a difficult conversation with a son or daughter, or yet another run-in with the least favorite neighbor. Aside from an actual person, maybe we're just frazzled and frayed. Why you want to do me like that? Now my fingers acting a fool. Okay, well, frazzled and
F
frayed.
them 12s. Finger
I was
fools.
You
talking about Shirley fingers like mine and frazzled and frayed. And it went to a whole nother place. Ah, Lord Jesus, help me, please. Help me, Father. Help
Come
me.
quick.
Come quickly. I don't need a pebble. I need the building. Ah. Okay. Okay, now that was it. Okay, where was I? Okay. As I've gone into research, we made a walking obligated. In fact, we okay. There we go. How much are we? Okay, maybe it's just an argument. Yes, a dog running to a neighbor. Aside the actual personal, maybe we could rephrase the phrase, balk mentally or creatively, or perhaps overwhelmed by our thoughts and need to get out from underneath them. Our walking away is in the end more than a metaphor. The
Mhm.
Kier, oh, that Kierkegaard. Now I hope I said that right. Quote from the few weeks ago still stays with me. I know of no thought so burdensome than one cannot walk away from.
Mhm.
Mm.
That's true. But by
Yep.
sitting still, and the more one sits still, the closer one comes to feeling ill. Thus, if
Mhm.
you just keep walking, everything will be all right. What is it about a walk that makes space, that clears the air, that moderates our worst moods and allow us to breathe? What about a
Mhm.
simple walk gets us into our right mind again?
Mm.
I think we felt the release from the vice grip of anger and anxiety, confusion, or grief. What's the physiological picture? Hello, got that word,
You,
physiological picture behind this
you did
emotion.
that.
Okay, I did that, alchemy.
Yeah.
What biochemical power do their work and what ends can they serve that we haven't even considered? First, the big picture. Beyond the euphoric runner's high, moderate physical activity, often represented as a simple walking in studies, has been shown to soothe us neurologically. Hello, I got the big word. Can't even know the one I know. Couldn't even say it. When
That's all right.
subjected
We
to
said it.
stress, it seems our neurons get fired up, while regular activity boosts our production of young, excitable neurons, largely concentrated in the hippocampus. Hello, and emotional and cognitive processing centers. Activity also supports the abundance of neurons responsible for releasing GABA. Hello, a common neurotransmitter that dampens brain activity and can ease anxiety. In the large
Mhm.
scheme of things, such as suggest
Mhm.
the more active we are, the less we feel stress. Over time, it becomes the brain set organization because illness or vacation, we're still running off the same neurological beneficial mode. In the short term, we also gain from the exertion with a flush of feel good fuzzies made possible by the enhanced secretion of various neurotransmitters, as well
All
as the
right.
increase in levels, I did that, of opiates and endocannabinoids. Hello, I even said that.
All
That's my big
right.
word. Endocannabinoids. Hello. Leading some to label exercise as a physioactive drug. What's more, the mood moderating effects of exercise can set in within a little as 5 minutes, but can last up to 12 hours. Now, see, there you go, right there. You can walk 5 minutes and feel it for 12 hours. I'm
Huh.
going to get out this house in just a minute. As
I
I've
know that's
noted
right.
before, exercising in green or blue natural spaces offers considerably high benefits, particularly for mood enhancement for exercising indoors. Beyond the biochemical measurements, walking is becoming incorporated into therapy and support models. Walk so called walk the talk therapy. Hello, patients and therapists walk there during their sessions, providing moment opportunity, which can be helpful for those who agitation would make regular. There they go. I'm not gonna get agitated. I'm gonna walk in a minute. Because I'm not
Walk it
Right.
gonna get
off.
agitated. I'm,
Walk it
I'm gonna
off.
walk in a minute. I'm gonna walk. Gail over here crying. I'm gonna walk in a minute. I'm
That's
Hello,
not
all right.
gonna
Walk
Gail.
it
get
off. Well,
Shirley
walk
said,
it
hello,
off.
Gail. Yeah, I'm gonna start take out walking. If y'all see me just stand up, I'm walking. I'm gonna, hey, if I stand up, I'm just gonna take off walking.
I'm telling you, you heard that song. Walk it off. Now
I
walk
just
it off.
walk
I think that's what it
it up.
say.
That's right. That's
Walk
right.
it off.
Yeah.
Walk it off.
In the simple outdoor, yeah, walking creates energy, an adulterated feedback loop between the rhythm of our bodies and the mental state. When we stroll, the pace of our feet naturally oscillates, hello, with our moods and cadence of our inner speech. At the same time, we can actively change the pace of our thoughts by deliberately walking more briskly or by slowing down. Within the awareness of how the emotional can drive the physical, we can see the potential for the opposite dynamic. The fact and
Mhm.
environment of walking takes us to a more expansive place mentally. Now, oh, come on now.
Mhm.
But
Oh,
I
I'm
picked
sorry.
up
It was
one.
called Walk It
Perhaps
Out.
the
I'm
physical
sorry.
exertion supports the emotional catharsis, hello, through full blood and mind participating, providing a more potent and tangible release of tension. Walking
Mhm.
away from a problem or walking with it, we bring our
Mhm.
troubles into a larger light and witness them in perspective to the world
Mhm.
and the community around us.
Mhm.
With that hour's gateway, perhaps we experience them as a lighter and more diffuse, even within the mix of our own human energy.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Just walk it off. Do you know how
Walk it
the
off.
coach says every time the coach says, come on, Poke. Daddy, you heard him. Come on, Poke. You're gonna hit that ball. Walk it out. Come on
Yep.
now, walk it
Mm-hmm.
out. You walk it off.
Mm-hmm.
You come back. You can do your job. You can
Mm-hmm.
hit that ball. You can hit that field. You can make a touch. Walk it out.
Uh-huh.
So, ladies and
And then
gentlemen, walk it out.
and then you
Yeah.
be
You
walking
hear
and
me?
you be walking and shaking it off at the same
At the
time.
same time, yes,
Uh,
ma'am. Yes, you do. You can walk off and say, yes, ma'am. And I thank y'all for listening to me. But when you feel that you can't feel no more, when your head is about to explode, get out your backyard. I'll go around your block and just walk. And you
Yep.
just notice how much better you feel.
Yep. Because
You
I've
will
done
mhm.
feel
that.
better.
I've taken Tia to the park and we just,
Yes,
I let her run and
I
I'm
ain't
just
got
out
Tia.
there. I don't have anything on my mind. I'm just letting it all go.
Peter,
Did
Just let this
why you got to go there?
just
Yeah,
let
what
let
it
me
is
all
she?
ask a
go.
question. Are you speaking from experience? Why?
Good
What's that?
question.
You're supposed to be walking in.
Oh yes.
Follow your
We should
instincts
have.
and walk it out.
I don't think
Great, great.
if we miss
And
seeing each
walk
other
it
a day,
out.
I think we go crazy. If we miss seeing each other a day, we go crazy.
Uh,
Okay, yeah. Well, that was wonderful, wonderful.
Well, walk
Both
it
of
out.
them was
Yes,
super, super,
just walk it
super.
out. Ain't
When
oh,
you
that a
listen,
dance
Delina's
called
on here.
walk
She
it
said,
out?
hey, huh?
Ain't that a dance called walk it out?
Didn't you hear me
But,
play it?
uh-uh. Let me hear it.
oh, I hear it.
Yes. He said
Okay,
walk it out.
walk it
Yes.
out.
Some
Yes.
of the
Walk
words
it
are
out.
questionable.
And me and
I
Gail
looked
finna
at
get
the
in here and
words
walk it
before I
out
started
after a
to play
while.
it.
Are they
We
And
gonna walk it out.
questionable or they
Walk
just
it out.
they're not
they're not appropriate to sing on,
for
but
our audience
I like the
today?
music. I like the part
Okay,
where he say, now walk it out. Don't walk it, just walk it out.
walk it out. And speaking of walking it out, did Eric make the team yesterday? Or is he going
Um,
to
they're
try
gonna hear
another?
from him. Coach told him he would be in touch. They were really impressed with him because he's
All
coachable
right.
and because
Yes.
she said he was really happy. Eric
Oh,
was
good.
really
Okay,
happy.
Yes.
good,
Yeah.
Amen.
good.
Now, on
All
the
right.
other hand, I want to ask y'all this. I have been watching this Monique and DL Hughley feud.
DL Hughley thing.
Yes. Have you seen that?
I saw some of it, but I try not to get because
Okay, what is it about?
They were
her
in a
being one of the
show
head.
in Detroit.
Yeah,
They were in a show into Detroit. One has a contract that says Monique is the headliner. DL has a contract that says DL is the headliner. Okay, so they put them both on social media. They put them both on social media, and everybody looking at DL's like, okay, that looked like a real contract, but hers is from Hinks Media, which is her company, instead of the company they were working for. Hers was from her
oh
company, and
And so
so
they're feuding with each other?
yeah.
yes, but the show is over with. But during the show, he said that before the show, he said if she's gonna be the headliner, well, he wasn't gonna be on it because his contract said he's the headliner, right? So she gets on. She let him be the headliner. She gets on. She called that man everything but
She called him
DLQ.
some names.
She called him some names, talked about his family, talked about his wife in a live concert, and he in the back listening to this stuff.
Excuse me.
He did not retaliate when he got on stage. All he said was, "Now what have I walked into?" But she all kind of everything. Talked about his
Wow.
wife and his family. She sure did. She did that.
But she
Wow.
had been blackballed, you know,
Uh huh.
from appearing and
Cause
things
she
like
got
that
into it.
because of her
She
attitude
got
and
every
stuff.
time she worked with somebody, she got a problem. She got a
Yeah.
problem with Oakley. She had, with Oprah. She had a problem with Lee. What's his name?
Lee Daniels.
Lee Daniels. With Tyler
Yep.
Perry. With Steve Harvey. All
Yeah.
of them.
Delina
She
said
had
yes,
problem with
it was
all of them.
bad. It was
Yes.
bad.
Wow. Hi,
Yeah.
Yes.
Delene. I saw your name. Velma, I didn't see it
Velma,
coming, but I saw
yeah.
you say hello, Velma. Hi, Velma. Hi,
Uh-huh.
Yolanda,
Oh,
Terica.
but she showed out
Erica,
in that concert.
Laterica.
Y'all
Uh-huh.
go to
Wow.
YouTube and look at it. Y'all will not believe the stuff that woman
There
said.
Velma is. Hi.
But I just
Yeah.
had that after today's thing. Okay, I'm sorry.
I have not seen it. It's
Oh my
so
God. If
much
you
You know
get
going
the
what?
chance,
on.
I know.
it's
I try
on
not to get
YouTube.
all that wrapped in my head because I was thinking about the Amber
Ain't got
Heard
nothing to
and
do with me.
Johnny
That's
Depp
why I
stuff.
looked at it because it ain't gonna make me
Oh no!
mad and it ain't
I
gonna
mean,
make me a
because you know
dollar.
they
So
always
I
talking
don't care.
about, but the Amber Heard, Johnny Depp stuff. You know, I watched some of the trials. She got up and lied.
And they
I know it because that man told Johnny Depp, so you were drinking a lot. He said, I had a few drinks. He said, you were drinking a lot. He said, were you there?
I know that's right.
And then when
He
she said
asked him,
Kate,
were you
he
there?
pushed Kate Moss down the steps, down the stairs, and Kate. They didn't expect Kate Moss to come on and testify when she
And
said
sh-
when they
and
said we
she
have
said
Kate.
that he did not. She said she fell.
Yes, he had already left the room, and when she fell and screamed, and he came back, he did not push, kick, nor what is she punch or hit me and knock me down the stairs. No, and
Just
Well,
like
I
Amber
they
Heard
haven't.
was like
said,
this.
just like they said, he drugged Marilyn Manson. And he said, no, I did not drug him. I gave him a pill to keep him from talking. To let him. That's what he said.
Okay.
He said I gave him a pill to shut him up. Because sometimes he
Okay.
could talk a lot.
But yeah,
Wow.
so they got all this stuff going on. And I'm gonna tell you who I'm sick and tired of hearing about. I'm sick.
Will and
No, well, that's one other thing because I'm sick and tired of them dang Kardashians.
oh my God.
Them no, I'm so sick and tired. Every time you turn, I'm sick of them. I'm sick of hearing about them. I'm
Well, they're
sick
That's
of
gonna
them.
be
it.
there for a while. So hey,
That's
And
the
every
truth.
time I hear
That's the
something about
truth.
them, I just turn it off.
That's
Because
the
that's
truth.
just to me, that's just crazy. Like what's the name told her. So y'all have no talent. You're just,
hey, they
but you
have the talent of having no talent and making a whole lot of
making a
money.
whole lot of money.
Huh.
Yeah. They
Child,
had to be for
please.
their daddy. Wouldn't nobody even know who they were.
Yep,
They can say anything to them that they want to, but from what I see and hear, those women are filthy rich.
they are
Yes,
filthy
ma'am,
rich.
they are.
Uh-huh.
But I'm so
Uh-huh. And
tired
so
of
you
Like
hearing
I
don't
about
said,
them.
if
and
it hadn't been for their daddy, would nobody know who they was.
mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right.
With the
Right.
OJ
And so
Simpson trial.
Yeah.
so that takes me into 7 things to remember when people don't support you.
Here we
And
are.
so
There we go. We bought you into your. See now, see there. That was we bought
Yep.
you into your segue.
segue.
Yes, ma'am. We bought you into your segue.
And and we have each of us, we have over 1,000 people that are on our friend list
Mm-hmm.
right here on Facebook. And if everyone on our list as friends would share this webcast just one
Time.
time,
Yep.
it would reach all of their people
Free.
on their
Yep.
friend
Uh-huh.
list. Okay. And then we have people who say that they cherish us and they're really, really close to us and everything. And we have those people who haven't shared either. And so it makes you wonder. And then I know Velma shares. Velma
Yes.
shares. Thank
Uh-huh.
you,
Yes, she
Velma.
did. Velma, thank you.
And Erica shares. I think
Becky Shay.
Laterica shares.
Jennifer
Jennifer
shares.
shares. And so everybody that might not be calling your name that has shared and
I
I
think
missed it.
Leona, I think
Leora,
she shared.
yeah,
Leonora.
she
Leona
shared
shared.
too.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Because we want people to hear this and to know this. And
Get
we're
right over
people,
here.
ladies, who are talking from experience and from studying and gathering information that should be relayed to everyone.
Yep.
Because there are millions and billions of programs out there, but all of the millions and billions, there's always something that somebody has not touched.
That's it.
And
Yep.
so
Sure.
we're here and we enjoyed. We enjoy. Thank you, Delina. Thank you, Velma, for sharing. Thank you so much.
That's what I told her.
And,
I said, thank you.
and
Delana,
so
hi,
seven things,
Delana.
7 things to remember when people don't support you. And this is by Alden Tan. Alden, tan, and it could be Alden, but I'm saying Alden. Okay, and so
Okay.
Theodore Roosevelt, or Roosevelt
Roosevelt.
said, "I care not what others think of what I do, but I care very much about what I think of what I do."
Mm-hmm.
That is character.
Uh-huh.
So first of all, you have to go forward with whatever you are blessed to do. Don't let anybody hold you back by their
Huh.
nays. Don't let people discourage you. So this writer says, "I'm currently doing the whole quit my job to pursue a dream thing." He said, "I left the security and stability of having a salary along with a supposed career." He said, "Back then, I didn't really know what I was doing. I had no experience in blogging." So he's a blogger now. This is on Tiny Buddha. This is one of my favorites, tinybuddha.com. And so he said, "I had no experience in blogging. Plus, I didn't exactly know the confidence to market and start running a business." It sounds crazy, right? This is the question he's asking. And to people, and you know me now. I don't just tell people what I'm going to do unless I confide in you two and my
Mm-hmm.
children, of course, because
Excuse me.
sometimes if you tell people, one of the things they'll do is they'll go and do it themselves before you can get it done. A lot of times, I'm pretty sure everybody on here has
Yep.
Has
experienced that.
experience, yes. Yes.
Yep.
And what did Marina say?
Don't
Don't
tell
tell
what
all
you
you
All
know.
you
know,
know, but
Know
do
but
what
you
to
have
know
to
say.
what
say?
to tell. That's what
Uh-huh.
she said. And that is so true. Then another thing, people, "Oh, I don't know. That's a lot. You sure
Uh-huh.
you can do that?" Don't even worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing beats a failure but a
But try.
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 I,
Those three
I know
little
that's
letters.
right.
Three little
You can
letters.
imagine
Try.
he said, right. He said, "You can imagine the reaction I got from my friends and family." He's quitting his job and he's going to do his blogging. "The support was next to nothing, and people generally never understood what I was doing, what I was trying to do." Does this sound familiar?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure we've all had this, and not just our family. Sometimes the person that you are closest to, it could be your spouse, your significant other.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they don't have confidence in you
And you.
doing what.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on whether you have a record of failure or not. But anyway,
Yeah, your record has a lot to do with it. Them get rich
you
quick
know,
schemes has a lot to
it
do with it.
depends. It depends on your record because we've seen these movies where a certain one will show up, a certain child or a nephew or niece, and they will, "Uncle, auntie," it's a, "What do you need now?"
How
"What are
much
you
you need?
starting now?"
What you want?
They
What
know
business
when they
is it
show
this
up, they're
time?
going to start a new adventure. Okay, so it
Amen.
depends on our record
I'm
and
still
our
here.
people. Okay, so he said, you may not have done something huge like make a career shift, but perhaps you've offered a different opinion and everyone just disagreed.
Yeah.
You would have expected more from your loved ones. I know how disheartening that can be. And I remember when Elder Davis and I got married, and we didn't know, that we didn't know each other.
Yeah.
I think I met him in February of that year, and in March, yeah, we were married in March, right?
When we met,
And
I
so
met him. I liked him right away. So,
Mama did too.
yes,
Mama did too.
I
And
knew that
and
was
you
a good
know the
man.
thing that and so I heard that somebody now I, now when people in the church and they say they have faith and
Huh?
that God can do anything,
Huh?
you know, then when they start doing this, so somebody said, "Oh, she had to know him. They had to know each other."
Uh,
We didn't know each other. We didn't know each other. The Lord put us
I was gonna
together.
say, when He sends the right thing your way, you know it because you know the
Hmm.
voice of your what, Shirley? Yeah, you know the voice.
Of God.
Yeah.
Yeah. The voice of God. The sheep, they know the shepherd's
They
voice.
mm-hmm.
They know the shepherd's voice. And so I did turn him down the first time when he had asked me to do a revival at Greater Gospel Temple. That was my first revival that I had spoke at, and he asked me if I would do a revival. And we met with our cousin on daddy's side. She introduced us to each other in down here in Dallas at an inaugural luncheon for Bishop Frank Smith when he made bishop. After he made bishop, so then Elder Davis asked me. He said, "Do you do revivals?" I said, "I will." Like that. And so he invited me down. And so he had been calling. He had been, here I go, getting on this. But anyway,
Right.
he had been, this is what people don't
That's what we
support,
do.
with some people. But my family was very supportive of me, everybody. Yes, they were. And so anyway, he said, he invited me down. And so he had started talking and he had said that the Lord had told me that I was going to be his wife. Now, we didn't know each other now, mind you. And we were talking
Uh-huh.
on the telephone. And he would call. And then I said, he didn't tell me that.
Same thing I
Well,
said.
tell him to call me.
Somebody told me that.
Tell him to call me
I
and
talked
we
to
can
God
discuss
too, and
it.
He ain't said nothing to me about you.
We can discuss
I
it.
said,
I would
he
say
didn't
hello.
tell me that. And so, anyway, then I told him I was going to get my son through school, and because Michael was coming out that year, and I said, then
Right.
I'm going on with my
Uh-huh.
career, my singing, my teaching, and my traveling, and all of that. And then the Lord spoke to me and told me to marry him because I had told him no. And then, hey, and I said when I got ready to come down, and Mother Price, Ida Price,
Yes.
Yes, I remember. I
and
remember.
and
Yes.
This
and
bird.
cousin Bertie Johnson,
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
and my children, we all came together. And let me tell you this: in here, my master bedroom in there. Elder Davis he had invited us to
Have
the
a good
house,
day.
and so Elder Davis, he said, "Let me show you the house." And so, he'd been telling me that the Lord told him he was gonna be
Okay,
my
let me see
husband.
you
So
later.
anyway, we got back to the bedroom back there. He said, come on in, honey." I put a hawthorn right at the threshold, and I, I leaned over and looked. I would not go in that bedroom because and it was all of us went together, Mother Price, because I didn't want, because I had told him
Yeah.
I'm not. And then what I said to God before we came for the revival, I said, God, I said, let me get down here and do the revival. I was thankful for the revival, but I said, Lord, let me get down here and do this revival and get out of Dodge. That's what I said to God.
Let
When
me
I
do
got
it.
down here, Greater Gospel Temple was so nice to me. It was a Thanksgiving revival. They were so nice to me. So anyway, I went on back home, and then our district meeting came up, the Sherman district meeting, and of course I was over the children, the Sunshine Band, and the Purity class. I invited Elder Davis to come up there, and Elder Rowland went up there with them. We were having it in Sherman, our district
Uh,
meeting. That was in February, and so then the next day, God said, "Call, call him, and tell him you'll marry him."
uh.
Well, he said, call him. He said, he didn't say tell him. He said, go down there, call him, and then go down there. So I drove to Dallas. I think it was that Saturday because the meeting was over that Friday. And I drove down here and sat he invited me in. He was so nice. No hanky panky, no nothing. And invited me to sit on the couch. And I sat down and I said, I came to tell you, yes, I'll marry you. And he kissed me right here on the cheek and said, thank you.
Oh,
Oh,
Aww.
that's so sweet. But
Oh, that's
anyway,
so
now
sweet.
getting back. And then we were married because you know how the
Where
devil
the
started
hell
tormenting.
did you think these men's at? Who got
So
going like that? I'm mad now.
anyway, I'm gonna get on with the other. But like I said, even people that are around you, and people who are supposed to be pushing you, and people who are supposed to have faith and know that
Mhm.
God works miracles and that God does things, and then that particular one was doing a naysay, not believing that God will do
Yeah.
exactly what he said he would do, and he did it. Okay, so we cannot be uh what is it, stumped or stunted by people, by naysayers. Okay,
Mhm.
so he said you might not have done anything huge like make a career shift. He said you would have expected more from your loved ones, and my loved ones, like I said, my immediate family, my mama and my brothers and sisters, they all were right there for me. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so I know how disheartening that can be. You expect support and encouragement from people you consider close to you, only to be completely rejected,
Huh.
criticized, or worse, laughed at. And people
Mm.
want to say, "Hey, I told you so."
I
Okay,
told you
Oh
so.
but
yes,
I told you so. Uh-huh.
they
So
can do that
it
real
can be
quick.
really hard to swallow all the noise around you, because things are just buzzing and buzzing and buzzing and buzzing around you, all kinds of things. Because I think I told you how the devil was tormenting me and telling me we weren't going to get married. And he was just putting all kinds of thoughts in my head, because I had planned to marry after Michael graduated in June. But
Uh-huh.
he was messing with me so until I said, "Oh, Davis, let's just go ahead and get married." And we got married March the 15th of that year. And then God was working in the plan also, because mama got to come and be
Yep,
there,
Amen. Yes, she
because
did.
yep,
she left
yep,
us. Mama left us in June.
Yes, she did.
yep.
She
She
sure
Yes,
did.
she
did.
did.
She left
Yes,
us
she
in
did.
June.
But she loved that one,
So,
Ella Davis.
Yes, she
Oh, she
did.
sure
oh, she
did.
loved Ella Davis.
Yes, she loved Ella
Said,
Davis.
I, I said one time to Mom, I think she was a little disappointed in, because you know how I was. I'd be right next door to Mama's or whatever. So I said, yeah, if it don't work out, I'll be right back home. She, I guess she said, Lord, please don't.
Please let it work out. Please let it work out.
But it, thank the Lord, 14 years and 10 months exactly.
Wow.
Amen.
So, so he said, I was taken by surprise by some of the things that people said. He said, I heard from friends, some of the comments were particularly hurtful. So you can't let these things get you down, because
Yep.
some people have been stopped in their tracks because
Uh-huh.
of the naysayers.
Yep.
Okay. But I'm going to get to something else. I think it boils down to learning how not to care so much about what others think, and also conversely understanding what goes on in their minds. I've come up with a little guide of reminders that I hope can help you keep going if you feel alone. Number one, your passion is a priority. Your passion is a priority. A lot of people go through the motions in life, not doing what they love. They
Yep.
end up
Yep.
constantly looking back, asking themselves, what if?
Yep.
Many people do that. And that's one thing I said. I know I won't get everything done,
Mhm.
but the major things that I want to do, I pray that God will help me to do them, because I mean, in judgment day, I won't be worried about what if anyway.
But,
But I don't want to have to say, what if I had done this? What if I had done that? So whether people support you or not, do you really want to look back and regret one day when down the line? Do you really want to look back and regret? Do you not know what could have happened if you tried to do what you really wanted to do? And we don't know unless we try. So
yeah.
this love of yours is one of the most important things in your life. Follow your heart and not the words of others, just to live up to their expectations. And that's what a lot of people want you to do, live up to their
There.
expectations. They want to run your life. Just like uh, I got twice, I had been rejected. You understand? A few weeks ago. Uh-huh. But yet twice got a call. You can come if you want to.
Uh
Yeah.
huh.
Yeah. Yep.
Why would
Yep.
I come
Yep.
when you?
And
Mm,
you know what? The last thing And the last time I said, I won't be there.
I'm glad.
Anyway, let me go on. Number two, life is short. People say life is short, but I beg to differ. I've been around here a pretty long time. And some have been around here a pretty long time. So
Pretty
I'm going to
long.
stop saying
Yes.
life is short.
Yes. Yes.
So it may be a little disheartening to have people around you discourage you, but remember, and he is saying this, life is short. Okay. Do you remember? And we all have said that life is too short for that.
Life
Life
is
is too
yes,
short for this.
yes. We've all said
But
that.
I've been around here by the grace of God for a little while, and I thank Him for it. Do you really want to spend your time feeling down over others' words when they're completely unwarranted basis and probably not making any kind of sense? Do you really want to pull back on following your dream or doing what you want because of others and start living a life that probably doesn't fulfill your potential? Clee, Theta,
Huh?
Natalie, Bubba, Michael, Danny, Lewis. Is that all of us?
Yep.
If you name date, it is.
If we had not gone and done our rodeos,
Huh.
if we had not gone into the recording studio,
Our
if we had not gone
parades.
into the TV studio,
Did,
if we had
did
not
all
been
that
online like
traveling
we
we
are right
did.
now,
Been our parades.
did operate.
Yep.
Delina, hey, Delina was there. They were in the
Yeah,
Yep.
parade because
Delina
they
was
were
there.
riding.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yep.
yes,
Yep.
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
yes. Our parade down Main Street with the
Huh.
police
Yes.
escort.
And the highway
Yes.
patrol,
We
because Andy was. I was in the car with Andy. Bam.
Yes, and this was back in the late
Eight
70s and
early
early
80s. Yep.
80s.
'80s.
In the
No,
80s
it was in the
in
'80s. It was in the
Denison,
In the
'80s.
Texas.
80s. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
just think if we had not done that.
Yep.
Okay, we'd be
Baby
looking
Jesus
back.
was in the late '70s. He was '79. Baby
Oh
Jesus
yeah,
was '79.
television. That's right, television.
'79.
Walk into
Baby,
Yep.
a
baby
television
Jesus.
station when the yeah. Oh, it's oh shoot. Let me go on.
We're
Three
finna.
others may not fully understand. People who don't support you and discourage you may not actually be bad people who intentionally want to destroy your dreams. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they just don't understand why you do what you do, so they voice out their concerns, which may make them seem dissenting. So he said, I personally try not to take it to heart when people discourage me. He said, I see it as
Mm-hmm.
if they need a little education and explanation, or sometimes I just ignore them. I think I do more ignoring than
We'll say
so.
thank
If
you.
anything, since they don't fully understand, I don't see why it's something to be upset over. Do you
To be
remember that
upset about.
time
Right.
I was doing? It might have been my second or third TV show in Denison, the gospel special. So I
Uh-huh.
invited these people, and so this woman, one of them that I had invited them to be guests, well, was trying to tell me how to do my
I
TV
remember
show.
that. Oh, I remember
And
that very
somebody
well.
said, Shirley said, you were just looking right through her.
I remember that very well.
Oh, yes. So sometimes others are insecure. Sometimes people don't support you. What you're doing, it may be more about them than you. So
Uh-huh.
again, don't take their words to heart. If their criticism isn't constructive in any way, they may be discouraging you because of their own fears and insecurities. And it could be ignorance, just plain old ignorance. It could be jealousy.
Yep.
But
Yep.
some people tend to attack things that are new to them. Anything is possible. Nobody can predict the future for certain. So get
Okay.
out there and try, okay?
Do it.
Don't
That
let
that's
objections
right.
from others become your truth and limit you from creating what you want in life. Anything is possible if you believe in
Amen.
yourself and work hard. I've been a
Mhm.
point of view has been on online since I know 2013. And look at us now.
Yep.
Look,
Look.
we were out there. Hey, we were forced to be out there. God told me to do this. And then others, were forced to be out here because of the pandemic. But we've been
Right.
here a long time. Number
Right.
six, you can do this without their support. It's natural. You can do it without their support. It's natural to want support and encouragement from people around you, but it is possible to do what you want to without that. So
Yep.
just think of how many successful, inspiring people took the road less traveled. You can't please everyone in life. This is the last one. You can't, oh, I'm almost finished. You can't please everyone in life. You can't. It's impossible. And a
It's
lot of
impossible.
people forget that. If you try to please everyone, it's going to be next to impossible. So don't bother. Keep your focus on what you want to do and why. In an ideal world, we could constantly surround ourselves with positivity. We can't do that, but we can work on ourselves so that we stay committed and positive. Are you surrounded by naysayers?
Hmm.
How have you dealt with this? This is Alden 10. Okay, we love you, everybody. And sisters, you want to say
Everything
anything?
went right in there together. All three of our
Okay,
Uh-huh.
topics went right
it
in there
Yep,
did,
as
together.
didn't it?
usual, as
Oh, and
usual. And thanks everybody for
tomorrow
watching
on
us and rocking
Spoke
us.
Light On will be Sister Jattis McCollister. So we'll
All
be on at one
right.
o'clock tomorrow. I love you, everybody.
Love
Sisters,
Thanks
I
you.
love
everybody for
you.
Y'all be
watching us. And
careful.
I'm gonna
Thank
put
you for
I
joining
did
us.
Talk
I
with you
did
later.
do
What,
Delina's
Clee?
husband's books. So I'm gonna do book Delina's husband's book. So I'm gonna put it in the comment because I
Okay.
forgot to last time. So I
And
did
she was
today.
on there. I was gonna tell you to get in and see what it was because she's on here.
Okay, well I did today and I'll put in the comments. I love you all. Thanks everybody
Love
for
you.
watching us and have a great day.
Love you,
Bye.
sisters.
Love
Love you
y'all.
Love you,
Bye
too.
bye.
everybody. Thank you. All right, my finger's not working. Come on, thing. It's not going off. Let me see. I might have to go back to everybody. It's not letting me go off. Well, just give me a little time to go back to my, let me see here. Okay. I'm going to have to go to the computer to stop the stream. If I can. Let me see. I'm leaving the site, everybody. Love you.